did it. What a beautiful, beautiful Thursday afternoon in Southern California. It is 2 p.m. California, which makes it Pacific time. And we're going to have a cool little show today because, there's somebody very special that's going to be on here with me as the VIP guest, of course. So with that said, welcome everybody. As you know, this is the Hempibition. We go Facebook Live every single Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific. This conversation gets repurposed to the podcast, which is always on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and another one. Hold on, because I'll tell you right now. One day I'll figure this out, I promise. And what's cool is that you can see you don't have to be smart to do what I do. Anybody can do this. So what I say, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify. That's the coolest thing. So go to those channels, please. Go to those podcast platforms and do your thing. Click the 5 stars. Leave us a nice review, please. Download the episodes. And, of course, listen to the stuff, right? Because it's all phenomenal stuff, and it's all about what we do. So the Hempibition on all the platforms. We always have conversations around hemp and how to make money with it, and especially today more than ever, how to make money from home, because a lot of people are home. So with that said, today we're going to do the same thing as we always do. We're going to give away a bottle of 500 milligram CBD oil from HempWorks, and the winner will be the person that has tagged the most people. So far, it's like Beth Fromkin is a machine when it comes to this. Last week or the week before, we had hold on, I'll tell you right now, the winner from it was Thomas. Hang tight. Nicole Thomas. She kicked butt and she got a bottle. And anyway, you guys know what to do. Tag away. But being that it's Facebook Live, here's what we're going to do, because there are rules on Facebook Live, and they're like this. You want to hit the heart button a lot. You want to smash that thing all the way throughout the video, throughout the conversation. And of course, you want to tag anybody that needs to hear this conversation right now. Maybe they're at home, they're struggling, they don't know what to do. Maybe money's not enough, and it's sort of an epidemic today. Get this information to them. Tag them below right now. Of course, you want to share this conversation. That's always hot and awesome. And comments are very, very important. So the first question I have for you guys is this: what's happening in your income world, financial world? How has this stay at home, shelter in place stuff, thing, situation, crap, bullshit, however you want to look at it, how is it affecting you today? So drop that in the comments right now. Let's get the algorithm going, because Facebook is funky. It's got to warm up. And there's stuff that Facebook has been having issues since yesterday morning. It's really slowing down. It's not posting things, especially lives like this, especially coming in from other platforms. So we got to get this thing going. We got to comments, tag, share, watch party. If you want to do a watch party right now, please, you're more than welcome. And with that said, I think we should get the show on the road. What's exciting is this. As you guys know, I do this every week, and I talk to different people. I sometimes talk to myself, and it's cool. But what's really cool is when you get to have your life partner, wife, business partner, the mother of your kids, your best friend, your everything, get to join you for a conversation on the Hempibition. So what's exciting today is that I'm going to, for those of you that don't know her, I'm going to introduce you to her. But for those of you that do know her, you're going to get to know her a lot better, because we're going to take this thing deep today. We're going to get involved. It's going to happen. So what's amazing about my wife, my business partner, my everything is, gosh, in regards to business, she's been in network marketing since right at the age of 18. Before she turned 19, she started making over $10,000 a month in network marketing. Typical parents are like, oh, college. And she's like, money and 10,000 a month. It's like, I don't have time for college if I'm making 10 grand a month. So she chose the entrepreneur journey. She chose to fight and learn and become a leader, become an entrepreneur. So she got phenomenally good at public speaking, team building, how to, she's really like a brain when it comes to compensation plans. She understands the structures and the compressions and placement of people. It's a phenomenal gift. Outside of all of that, I'll tell you guys what makes her just the complete, most amazing, most complete, completely most badass in the world. She is one of the most heart-centered, and I know there's a term out there like, oh, it's a heart-centered driven leader. And there's like some bullshit to that. And I want to clarify that because I really want to drive that home about Tami. She fucking cares for people. That's what I mean. I thought I would get that out there. She just actually cares for people. So when she does what she does, it's always to help somebody else. Yeah, of course, she gets it. It's business. She's going to get paid for it. She's going to get some kind of out of it, but she never does it like, oh, I'm going to do it because I'm going to make that other 1,000, that other 10,000, that other. It's always, every single freaking time we have conversations, it's always about the team, the people. Who can we help? How do we get that person to rank? How do we get that person to make more money? How do we save that person from losing their shit, etc.? So with that said, let's do that huge Hempibition welcome to the one and only, the love of my life, badass Tami Popa. Welcome to the Hempibition.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Got me a little emotional there. I thought if you kept going, I'm going to cry before we even get started.
You know, it's cool. We're like 2 rooms apart. I can just bring you tissue.
Thank you.
So you're saying, no, you don't want tissue.
I have some.
Oh, good. You came prepared. You're so smart.
I know you.
You
know. Awesome. Well, thank you.
I don't think you know me well enough.
Words.
Oh, my pleasure, baby.
Thank you.
So,
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So obviously, I want people to know, for those that don't know you and for those that know you but don't really know your story, I want to go back and just sort of like build a foundation for everybody, childhood, where you come from, and then how you got into business, network marketing, and then we'll just keep stacking from there.
Okay. Well, to quickly summarize my story, I'm an only child. I'm a single parent. My parents split up when I was very young, and my mom was a nurse, worked very hard. And, actually my whole family, she's a 10th of 15 kids, and all her sisters, her mom, all nurses. So very, honorable. I love it. Obviously, the goal growing up was always to go to college, get a career you can fall back on. I was very much raised in that mentality. But I had zero in my blood of, I guess, talent or desire to be a nurse. I wasn't very good with blood. I wasn't very good at, I can take care of my own family. If something happened to my kids or you, I'm good. But, some people just have that gift and some don't.
Right,
and,
absolutely.
I was very active, big in dance and in a bunch of other things. Very, I loved to paint. I loved to dance. I was very artistic and loved all that, theater, arts, but I was also very practical. And because of how I was raised, and because I was raised with my mom, I was working very hard and struggling. I, around that teenage, 14, 15, I started working at 12 at a clothing shop, and just so I could, started out working just so I could buy clothes. And then I started, making money and liking it. And I just realized somewhere around that 14, 15, 16, year old range that I wanted more. And so, I started working for another company, and then they started franchising, and I got very, interested in that concept of franchising, learning business. I ended up quitting dance, quitting the arts, and just putting myself 100% into learning business. And didn't know anything about business at the time. Again, I didn't come from an entrepreneur family, came from a family of nurses and people that worked hard. My dad, who was in and out of my life, worked 60 to 80 hours a week as an engineer for a job for someone else, and just worked hard. And that was the concept. I was surrounded by people working really hard, great people, awesome people, but people that just never quite had enough and worked really hard. And I always felt guilty asking for anything. but yet I had desires. I liked nice cars. I liked, from a very young age, I liked nice things. I wanted new clothes. I wanted these things. So I knew there had to be a better way. And so what really started my journey was working for this company that started franchising. And, I convinced my mom at the time, who was struggling as a nurse, and she had developed all these allergies to the hospitals and everything. So she was, doing home care visits now and trying to reinvent herself and find ways to make money as a nurse. And I convinced her, I'm like, this company is franchising. It happened to be a Christian dating service. And I said, this would be a great opportunity for you to use your great credit, leverage it, get a loan, let's buy this franchise and let's run it together. And again, knowing nothing of business, and my mom had never, really run a business either. We went down that path, went down that journey. And needless to say, I learned a ton about business and franchising and all of that. And especially being in a Christian-based company, it was funny how many people thought God just paid our bills. So
what? He doesn't?
Yeah. No, yeah. It turns out he doesn't.
What?
He does send you opportunities, but it was kind of funny. So yeah, we would sell memberships and people would struggle and they'd come to us and they'd be like, I can't pay you this month, or I can't pay, in general, but I want to keep coming and being a part of it. I'm sure you can understand. They thought we were ministry. And again, we did our best, but what really started my network marketing journey is that someone that we knew through this business had come and pitched us on a network marketing company. And my mom had known, her father had done, Shackley and Amway and all that back in the day. And so I had been around it a little bit growing up and had a concept. My mom had done some here and there, but never anything really big. So my mom was really interested, and I was sitting there at 17 years old, listening to this guy like he was talking to me about, winning the lottery. I don't know. I had never quite heard of anything like this before. It sounded too good to be true. And I think it was the first time I paid attention to a business conversation. And I thought, wow, this could really help us, because we were really struggling in our business at the time to pay bills each month. It had gotten hard. And so we started it as a way, we're open to it as a way to supplement our income for our business. And what happened is at 17, obviously I wasn't old enough to have my own position. So we went in under my mom and we started building this network marketing business. And it was like the greatest thing that ever happened to me, and I couldn't believe it. Every single day as I was just talking to people and they were like, yep, getting involved, and we were making money. I'm like, are you kidding me? Because everything else up until this point had been a struggle, watching my mom struggle, watching my dad struggle, my aunt struggle, my job, not making that much, just, this job mentality. And then even the business, that we did, the franchise became a little bit of a struggle. There were fun moments, but it was a struggle. And here, all of a sudden, I had no overhead, no inventory. It's a service-based company. All I had to do is talk to people and make money. And I'm like, are you flipping kidding me?
Did you say flipping?
So I did.
Did you really?
I did. So, that's what really started it. I absolutely fell in love. We started doing really well. I got bit by the bug. I started talking to everybody. Now, I was 17 at the time, and I got a lot of, no's, or that's cute, or sweetheart, or a lot of, especially this goes back, 20 plus years ago. So I had a lot of opposition, but I didn't care. I was like ignorance on fire times 100. I'm like, you are kidding me. I can make, as much money as I want to make. Get out of my way. Like if someone gave me a no or a, theoretical kind of slap on the booty, like that's cute, sweetheart, I didn't care. I'm like, what? Next. So I loved it. As soon as I became 18, I got my own position and started over again. 5 months in, I was earning over 5 figures a month. Bought my first car, brand new. I did a lease. It was just from there up and up. And I really loved it. But with all that said, I don't want to say it came easy. I worked my butt off. I worked, pretty much 24/7 at it. I had a very strong work ethic, and I was hungry. I was very, very hungry. I was right at that age where you're supposed to be becoming independent, getting your own place, getting your own car. I was turning 18, and we were in a business that was struggling. So I was really struggling to find my independence, and I found this vehicle where now I was surrounded by people who were multimillionaires. The leaders in the company that were showing up, that were speaking in front of the room in the meetings, these multimillionaires that were actually incentivized to give you their time, their coaching, their mentorship. And I was eating it up. I was in the front row every single meeting. If they had 3 meetings a week, I was there. If I had to drive 2, 3 hours, 4 hours, I was there. I was in the front row. I was paying attention. I wanted every single minute that these multimillionaires were willing to give me of mentorship and coaching. And then I took it and just applied it. And so that's why I did as well as I did. I don't want to make it sound like it was easy. I just got involved in this company and boom, I made money. I worked hard at it, but I was really incredibly surprised and just like under this, I don't know. It's like, it was like, it literally was like for me, like winning the lottery or, you know, something, you know, fantastic happening, because I felt so honored and blessed to be in a position that I was around all the right people, the right place, the right time, the right people to take me to that next level. So
Damn.
incredible.
So I'm going to do something that is sort of out of protocol, but there's a person by the name of Leo Phillip that this is the second or third time that you jump on our lives or videos or posts and you call us crooks. So either provide some kind of proof as to how these two idiots are crooks. So you make myself an idiot, my wife an idiot. So please bring on some proof as to who the fuck you are, or please go fuck off. Those are my rules. Because I don't do credit repair, so I don't know what happened to you, who hurt you, but this is now the second or third time you're doing this, so either put up or shut the fuck up. With that said, hi, baby.
Fun. Hi.
Yeah, well, this is entrepreneurship. There are dumbasses in the world.
I don't know who this guy is, but sounds unhappy.
Yeah, well, how do you get happiness out of that?
I don't know.
So you did that for a few years. You chose entrepreneurship, and then by a strike of God, you met me. Now, here's what's exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm not looking to fast forward. I'm just looking to, because chronologically, you and I met. You were 22.
Yes.
Gorgeous. And I guess let's now go into, you made a decision to become an entrepreneur. You did what you did. It was great, exciting. But then now it was like everything went up in levels, right? Mm-hmm. So I guess let's go there. So because once you and I met, then poof, businesses, entrepreneurship,
it's
galore. Oh my God. Yeah. So let's go there, please.
So, from network marketing, I happened to get involved at the time in one of the fastest growing companies in the history of business, not just the network marketing industry. So I was very blessed. But I came in way after the momentum curve. So you talk about being at the right place at the right time with a company and pre-momentum that goes into momentum and you get swept up. Those are where the real big money is made. But I came in way after they were kind of, plateaued at that point, still doing well, great company. And I still made great income, so you can still come into a company like that. And again, in 5 months and I was making 5 figures, but it was also owned by a billionaire at the time. It was a service-based telecom company, and he sold to a Canadian company who was not familiar with the network marketing arm of any company, really. They were a telecom company. So they promised at first to keep us on, blah, 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 but then eventually it didn't. So as that whole transition happened, it was about a year, maybe 2 years, I kind of started losing my steam, and that's where I had pulled back and gone into other entrepreneur ventures, and I was still getting those checks. So when you and I met, and I was 22, and I was still getting those checks in the mail from the team that I had built. That is why I kind of pulled back. I was starting to diversify. I had invested in stocks because, again, my proximity, the people that I was spending time with in that network marketing company were at the top. So the faster I rose to the top, I started getting asked to speak. I started getting asked to train. I started getting to hang out. I got invited to the big boys club, so to speak. And it really was like that back then. Even the wives it was still a big boys club. So I started getting invited to things. I started getting invited to the inner circle, so to speak. And that was really exciting. And again, I was so humbled and so grateful to be there. I paid attention. And that's where I got to make some stock investments, started to venture out into other things. And again, I built that team. I had that residual income. So that's what was paying me. This only lit my fire for entrepreneurship even that much greater. So when I met you and you're like, mega entrepreneur, it just kind of all fell into alignment. I think that was our attraction. I loved it. At the time I was, I had my dream place on the sand, on the water. I had my own car. I was handling everything. In fact, I was at a place in my life where I wasn't even open to dating. I didn't want to date. I was just very content in my life. And boom, that's when I met you. Everything just kind of like when you're not expecting it, that's when it happened. Yep. And I think we had an instant connection and in every aspect. And of course, the rest is, you know, a different story, different level of where we went with entrepreneurship. But what I really brought to the table, what I learned I loved, was marketing and people and helping people. I loved the most about network marketing that I could make money, I could achieve my dreams by helping other people achieve theirs. And I had never heard of that concept before and seen it work so beautifully. So pretty much everything about the industry I loved. There's a few things I didn't love, you know, politics and drama. It always attracts certain people. With good attracts bad, right? So there's you know, downside to everything, but the positives far outweighed the negative, and I loved helping people. And so that's kind of what I learned about myself. So as we came together, and obviously you've got a huge heart, you were very entrepreneur based, multiple things going on. I don't know if you want to kind of transition into all that, but I mean, obviously one of the first things we did was launch our design and construction company as we met. That was one of the, and get married and start having babies.
Yeah, I think the first thing we did is start making babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
well,
we got right to it.
The first thing we did.
Excuse me. Yeah, I was there. I was there.
It's not the first thing, but yeah, you know, we had some fun, and then we started having babies, launched companies, and the design and construction company was a big, you know, passion project of ours, and something that you know, had grown up in the construction industry, and I thought you were a very amazing designer and very talented, and we decided to take it to the next level, which we did.
Oh,
and
thanks, honey.
So, I mean, I think that really kind of started a different journey for us.
Yeah. So let's go. There's another hater on here. It's really bizarre, but
wow.
Yeah, I don't understand who these people are, but I think it's people with fake accounts. Now there's a female saying that you just talk. Thank you, honey. Yeah. So, but you know what's exciting? We're in the attention business, right? And negative attention gets you more attention than positive attention. So
yeah,
bring it on, bitches. I guess that's all I got to say. So there's a lady here talking shit. What's her name? Diana Garza. You can go fuck yourself too. Okay, wow. Now we're gonna move on. It's just one of those.
Yeah, it's so funny. I never go live, and it's you know,
yeah, no,
you guys all know me.
People are saying to ignore them, and I have to play with these dumbasses because it's just my personality.
I'll play with them later because this is.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get right back to
my
it.
time.
Yeah, I got you. So listen, moving forward. So yeah, you and I, we built, we scaled, we traveled. Let's go into, because my biggest nugget I want people to get, especially from a badass female entrepreneur, because there are a lot of females on this, and obviously the males that are here, they have spouses, they have partners, etc. So what I want to really drive deep for everybody is the idea of that it's not the boys club, like you said earlier. It's not the chicks club. It's like anybody can do it. It's a drive. And what's that thing that keeps you going? And can anybody do it? Let's go into entrepreneurship and what's kept you going through the last 20 years with me, because it hasn't been all pretty.
No. It's been wonderful. It's been an amazing journey, but it definitely hasn't been all pretty. And, you know, I don't think life is always pretty.
Yeah.
You know, when I talk about going back to, you know, when I was 18, the big boys club, you know, it's kind of a joke, but I mean, back then things were very different, and they have changed quite a bit. I think that was just more the mentality of the big leaders. And it's always, let's just face it, back then there was a male entrepreneurship stigma, and there was that thing.
Absolutely.
And, you know, so through the years, I just never paid attention to it. I just kept being me, kept doing me, and, you know, kept believing in what I was doing. And I learned something about myself, you know, early on in those years of working by myself as an entrepreneur, then as you and I started working together. And that is that if I didn't believe in something, I couldn't do it. I'm not this great salesperson. I'm not this, you know, crazy type A entrepreneur. I am an entrepreneur, but as you've pointed out, I'm an interesting balance of left brain, right brain, and I definitely am driven by my heart. So when I found a company or product or people or leadership that I believed in, it was very easy for me to be passionate about it and to sell it, theoretically, right, or to be a part of it. When I didn't, or when I stopped believing in people or leaders, or saw drama or saw things, you know, unethical, bad products, anything like that, then I was done. I couldn't. And for me, I would just kind of get quiet. So through the years, I've just learned that, you know, when I'm excited about something, I'm passionate, I believe in it, it's easy. I've loved, you know, some of the things that we've done. And I think what makes me a really great entrepreneur is, one, my work ethic. I'm not a quitter. When something's hard or I don't know it, my approach is to figure it out. You know, and it's easier than ever today, you know, with social media and Google and YouTube and all of that to learn new things. But, you know, I think that's my personality. If I don't know how to do it, I'm going to figure it out. And that's also my Virgo perfectionism, but I'm not a quitter. If I want to do something, even if I have no way, no how, or if you want to do something, you bring it to me, you're like, hey, I want to do that, which through the years has happened many, many times.
I never do that. I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
It happens all the time. So when that happens, you know, my personality is to find a way. You know, how can we is the answer. Not we can't or it's impossible, but how can we? And I think that is really, you know, set us apart and set me apart in a lot of ways as an entrepreneur, because number one, I have a great work ethic and I'm willing to find ways and be creative and invent new ways and keep going until I find it. And meanwhile, I care about people and I care about integrity and I care about and I care about and love the friendships we've made along the way, you know, and in network marketing, you know, I've made some of my greatest friendships. We've made some of our greatest friendships. I mean, we're friends today with some people that we've met, and that might be some of the greatest treasures that have come out of some of those companies and some of those experiences. Because, you know, money is one thing, but the experience and the people that you meet, the people that you're able to impact, the people that you're able to help, that to me is your legacy. That's everything. So that's meant a lot to me. It's funny, I'm looking at this glass right here because I'm having lemonade.
Oh,
Big Man's Brew. Speaking of great friendships.
Mine. That's hey.
So Beth, we have to talk. I was about to give Beth a shout out
hey.
for sending us. We have a good friend that we've met here in HempWorks that sent us. She launched her own beer. It's called Big Man's Brew, and she sent us some samples and one glass to Andre.
Oh.
I have confiscated it, and I'm using.
Sorry, Beth. See what you did?
Yep. Right now, so thank you for the glass.
Yeah, friendships.
And speaking of that, I want to give a shout out to another really great friend of ours who happens to be his birthday today. Mr. Chris Robinson, happy birthday! We love you. Also, the Cannabis Cowboy. We're thinking of you and your family today. Hope you guys are having a blast and happy birthday.
Should we sing to him?
Nope.
Okie doke. All right, there's that one. We're moving right along there.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
So check this out. Every single person watching this live replay, whether it's on YouTube channel later, podcast, listening as you're on a treadmill or doing God knows what, don't necessarily want to know everything. Here's a question. What do you do? Point is, everybody has rough days. Everybody has the days like, fuck, I cannot get out of bed. I'm stressed out. That's a huge problem. I don't know how to deal with it. What do you do in those moments? What have you done? What have you learned, I guess, to do?
What have I learned? That's a great way to put it, because through the years, my personality is very driven, entrepreneurship, Virgo, perfectionist. I always, like I said, had to get something figured out, but I also did it almost to a detriment sometimes. You know, I would take on too much, say I would handle too much, and then just drive to the level sometimes of burnout, because I always held myself to such unrealistic expectations, I guess I would say. So what I've learned through the years, because that really doesn't work very well, it's not very balanced. And, you know, even if you think you're taken care of as a mom, as a wife, as an entrepreneur, if you think you're taking care of your business, your kids, your husband, you're doing all of this stuff, but you're not taking care of you and you're not giving yourself that balance, then you're really not doing well, because you need to be strong to take care of all these things and all these people. So through the years, I learned that really doesn't work. Being that hard on myself really doesn't work. So there are days, obviously, that I need to take a break from social media. So when I feel like I'm just a little overwhelmed, I might pull away. We might go to lunch or go to the beach, take a walk. I might take a break just completely and go lay in the sun or go swim in the pool. I just learned to give myself those breaks and that fresh air and that breathing. Maybe I'll go do a meditation, go listen to podcasts, go listen to a great audiobook. I like to start my days now with gratitude and with my, miracle action plan, and just kind of get myself into that correct state before I even get going in my day. But if I'm struggling throughout the day, if I'm really needing something more, then I'll take it. Whereas before I might have felt guilty doing so, but now I will take that time that I need to, I guess, self-love, give myself a break, regroup, so to speak. So yeah, I definitely do things different.
So, but let's go into the moments where because I want people to get the good shit, right? So you've had days when it's like, fuck. Yeah. Anxiety kicks in. No. Listen, I want to keep it real, because everybody goes through this, and I don't want people to think like, oh my God, Tami just walks on clouds. She's perfect. Well, her perfection has come from fighting for this shit. Yeah. Your perfection will come from doing the hard work. It doesn't look, there's not one person, I don't care in what business and what level of success, that just woke up and just became that complete badass. It's a growth journey. People say, well, yeah, but like Trump's kid, they were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Great. But they still had from the level of being multimillionaires already. Now they had to go fight and learn how to keep that shit, how to deal with global lawsuits and blah, blah, blah. Right. So it's a journey. And what I want to know, baby, is fight or flight. When you get to that point of shit, what do you do to get through them? What have you done? Well, again, what have you learned to get you through the moment right then and there? Because sometimes anxiety is hard, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've had my days I didn't want to get out of bed. I've had my days where I felt like a failure, or it was hard on myself. And a lot of it, again, it's all self-inflicted, right? It's all what we think in our stories. But I definitely have those times. I've had times where I just really struggled and had to pull off for even a week or two off social media, because it was just giving me anxiety. Like every story was difficult, or this person died, or that. It just, I guess I'm sort of an empath, and that stuff really hits me pretty hard. So I'm not like that kind of person that can just scroll and read a bunch of heavy stories and just shake it off a lot of times. So there are things like, I don't watch the news. I get my highlights and updates from you, because you kind of know me, but at this point, you know what I can handle, what I need to hear. And then when I'm ready, I'll ask or I'll look. But I am that person that really carries the weight of people's pain. And so that's something, and that's another reason why I guess I wouldn't have made a great nurse, because if they were bleeding or suffering, I was kind of, stunned. Like I just didn't really operate well under that, because the pain that I would feel, that I would take on. So I've had to learn to deal with that through the years. But that stuff, anything that's heavy for me, anything that I am focused on from the past, or beating myself up over, or if anxiety kicks in, and I've had some really rough moments. I've had rough moments where I didn't realize I was as stressed as I was, or the anxiety was as bad as it was. It turned into physical, and then the physical scares you. You think something's wrong. You think you're having a heart attack, or maybe of cancer. And don't ever Google shit. Like I learned that. Don't Google. Don't Google shit.
Preach, girl. Tell them again.
This is something that, like, as I had stress and anxiety kicking in, and I wasn't even fully aware, because I'm like, I'm not stressed. I'm fine. I'm handling everything fine, because I'm always fine. But as I had some physical things kicking in, and I started to Google, that was horrible, because then you start to worry about all these other things kicking in. So I've learned not to Google shit unless it's good shit. And I've learned to breathe, to meditate. Hypnotherapy has helped me a lot to just get into a calmer state. I've learned that a lot of the stuff that I had coming up from my past, from my childhood, that I had to deal with, was just okay. I had to kind of just be okay with that stuff coming up, and it just being a part of my process. And then also the fact that I carry things, and how I work, and why I feel heavy sometimes if there's heavy stuff going on around me, or with someone, or on social media. So I avoid those things, or like Andre talks about, changing your state or flipping the script. I do a lot of that. I flip the script on all this stuff, or change my state whenever I feel that way. I've also this is a huge one. I've cut out a lot of toxic people from my life that I didn't feel I could. Yeah, I carried a lot
Good
of
one.
guilt thinking that all these people were people I had to have in my life and I had to give a certain amount of energy and attention to. And then one day I just realized it was too much weight for me and it was too toxic for myself and my family. So as I started cutting out toxic relationships, that gave me the space to heal and to feel good. And I started just really focusing on surrounding myself with people that feel good and that I feel good around. So that was another huge one for me.
Crystal Cole Robinson says she loves you.
I love you.
She said she loves. I love you guys. I know the truth. It's all about you, not even me. I get it.
I can't see any of the comments. So as you're going through all that, and
you should.
Comments, I don't see anything. I just see you.
It's your first time on. It's your first time on StreamYard. I got to show you how, but you should be able to see them all. It's all good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, I guess I didn't have to see all the negative crap, so I guess I'm good.
Yeah. Good. So let's talk about raising 2 daughters as an entrepreneur and then wanting them to be entrepreneurs.
Oh, yeah.
What's that like?
Whew. Well, our daughters are now 17 and 18, so it's been fun. It's been a journey. You know, if you guys know us, if you know our daughters, you know they're amazing. As a parent, you know, you always look to do the best you can to give them the best life you can, more than you had, all that fun stuff. So, you know, as an entrepreneur, I have to say there are moments that were challenging. Our girls are 14 months apart. So as we were launching our business, I'm working with you. We have 2 babies. We also started a network marketing company at a certain point in there, built a huge team. That was, you know, very demanding as well. So there were challenges. Thank God we had the resources at the time to get help. I always kept the girls with me. I always worked from home, which was a huge blessing. And we really fought hard for that.
Yep.
I fought hard for that. So no matter what we had going on in our life, and as many times as even our company got to the level of needing an outside office, I always fought hard to stay home, to be right there. Even if I had help come in, you know, for a few hours a day or did this or made lunches or did stuff, I always had the girls right there with me. I was in home, working in home, going to the park, being able to take a break, being able to be a part of their schooling, being a part of their life. So that was a really, really big commitment that, you know, you and I both agreed to. And I always fought for, because it was everything to us to be with them and to be the ones that raise them, not have them raised by other people outside of the home. And us, you know, we were busy, but like when we traveled, we took them with us. And when we went to speak somewhere or went on a, you know, if it was business, we took them with us. If it was personal, we took them with us. If we went to a nice dinner, we took them with us. So these girls got to really be exposed to our world, you know, from a very young age. I mean, at this point, you could drop them in any state, any city, and tell them to go put on an event, and they would go meet people, find resources, put on the event, and they could do it all 100% on their own. They've done that many events, and they've done, you know, that many things with people. So, you know, I'm proud of those things. We've taught them practical things. They're close to us. We've got a close bond. You know, they've been around entrepreneurship their entire lives. Now that they're 17, 18, obviously our goal is for them to be entrepreneurs, but, you know, you as a parent have to kind of let them explore and find their wings. They've never seen anything different. They've never known anything outside of entrepreneurship.
Right.
And honestly, there are times when I'm sure it didn't look that attractive. You know, entrepreneurship is not always easy. There's times where we struggle. There's the times through the recession where we lost everything. I'm sure that was scary and hard. And, you know, you and I have never looked back. We've never questioned being an entrepreneur. We've never gone out and gotten a job. We've never folded. We've never, ever done anything else outside of fought for ourselves and reinvented ourselves when we needed to. But now, you know, this is where we throw our hands up and say, you know, we gave them what we gave them, and now they have to find their path and their spirit and their hunger in this entrepreneur space, because no one can do this for you. You know, entrepreneurship is that special thing where it's either in your blood or it's not. And you might go take a job and you might go do something for a hot minute to think that something else might be better. But when it's in your blood, it's in your blood. It will call you back, and you will find that you miss that freedom to pop on a plane and, you know, 2 days from now and go to Italy for a month. You know, entrepreneurship buys you options. Entrepreneurship is a level of freedom that you don't really get to experience any place else. And again, there are different levels of entrepreneurship. There are entrepreneurs that are stuck in their business and owned by their business. We've had that scenario.
That's right.
But when you truly set up your life and your businesses to support a free lifestyle, and you get the income to a place, and your time, you have now time and financial freedom to run your businesses from anywhere. That's the true magic, because now you actually have the freedom to help other people, to form charities, to do charity work, to do charity events, to travel the world, to inspire people, to help people, to live differently. And that's really the life I want for them. I want them to not only be entrepreneurs, but I want them to be smart entrepreneurs. I want them to have, freedom and flexibility and options. And so that's really where we're entering that phase of helping them understand now the differences of entrepreneurship and the right way and the wrong way from what we've learned. And that's all I want for them. I want freedom and options, because I see, both of our girls being so powerful that they need to have causes, not careers. They need to have, legacies, not, being held down by, the traditional force. So again, there's many different ways that this conversation could go, but yeah. that's my dream. My goal for them is for them to find their own wings right now and fly and do what makes them happy, do what they feel passionate about. Because for me, my greatest moments in my life have been the moments where I've loved what I was doing.
Bam. A few things. One, I'm going to back up to the anxiety conversation just for a quick second. Today at 4 p.m. Pacific, so literally in an hour and 19 minutes from now, we are launching a video that I put together that is all about anxiety, panic, depression, and suicide prevention, because today it's rampant. It's at an all-time high. There have been almost 300,000, listen to me, there have been almost 300,000 suicides globally between the first of the year and March 25th, when the stat was taken. You understand my point? There's a problem out there. Point is, anxiety is crazy, panic, people don't know what the fuck to do right now. Depression is all-time high. Depression leads to suicide. So I put together a beautiful 40-minute video that takes anybody, I don't care who you are, it takes you through understanding what everything is, and then I give you tools to help you through the moments where anxiety shows up, panic shows up, I feel depressed, I feel suicidal, what to do. Literally, I take people through some exercises and an actual meditation inside this video. So launches at 4 p.m. Pacific, very, very sharp. And so keep an eye out for me making that post, because I'll give you guys very specific directions as to how to get access to the video. That was a little pitch. I want to move into...
No, I think it's great. That's really, really needed right now. That's one of my biggest fears, and what's going on is, people right now are hurting, and people aren't used to being home. People aren't used to being home with their kids and their spouses, and people are panicking, and they're not knowing when they're going to go back to work. So yeah, absolutely. I listened to your video earlier. It's very, very good. And I think it will help a lot of people.
Amen.
It's much needed.
That's the goal. It's, obviously, anyway, thank you. I wanted to talk about regrets, but I don't know if we talk about regrets or maybe go into the opportunity of today of everybody's at home and a lot of people need to make money, because that $1,200 thing from Trump is not going to go long. Right. So do you want to touch on any regrets that you have, or do you want to move on specifically to this?
I think if I have, I'm not big on regrets. I try to flip the script whenever I go into anything that I'm starting to feel that I regret.
Girl.
But
that's my wife.
If there's anything that I do regret, it's just, really, someone said to me when I was, much younger, don't sweat the small stuff. And, you hear a lot of these things as you're younger and growing up, and even in your entrepreneur, stage and raising your kids and all that. Take time to smell the roses, don't sweat the small stuff. And, I guess now being this much, 20 plus years, into it, I would say if there's anything, it's that, don't take all this stuff so serious. work is not all there is. It's going to be there tomorrow. Stop and take time with your kids and your family. Give yourself a break, self-love. Like, I think if there's any regret, I would just have stopped a little bit more and expected less of myself at times, just so I could enjoy the moment more. And it goes by so fast. Everyone says that, but it really does. It flies by so quickly.
Absolutely.
That all of a sudden you're looking at your kids and they're 17, 18, and you're going, man, I miss holding you. I miss, like all of these things start kicking in, and it's a different level, right, of your journey. But, don't take anything for granted. Don't take any day for granted. When I lost my dad suddenly 5.5 years ago, I've thought every single day for the last 5.5 years what it would be like to have another day with him, so the things I didn't say to him. So that's it. It's just, don't take anything for granted. Love in each day to your fullest. Love yourself. Give yourself the space. It doesn't mean don't go hustle and work hard, but understand there's a balance, and that the people in your life are the ones that matter most. The experiences and the memories, that's what matters most. So the experiences you're creating with your family, God forbid something happens and you're gone or you're on your deathbed, that's what you're going to think about. People say it, we watch it in a movie, but we don't really internalize it, and unfortunately sometimes until it hits home. And that's it. That's what I would say, is that, like, today I wake up each day thinking about, what can I do to enjoy this day to its fullest, and to love you and to love the girls to my fullest. So, if it's little things like going to lay in the sun with the girls, or watching a movie together, or going to take a walk, or going to the beach, making dinner together, that's something huge, something that we all really enjoy. So do more of that in your life, especially right now as you guys are at home. Just love on your family, love yourself, and allow this time to just be what it is, and to give you that opportunity to enjoy the people around you.
Boom. Very well said. Very, very well said. Let's move into, I had 3 jokes, but I'm not going to do them.
Of course you did.
Oh, they're funny.
Okay.
So that's
yeah, let's not.
I won't. I can't. I thought through it. I'm like, nah, it's not a good thing. It has to do with a bed, and I'm not going to do it. So what's wrong?
Okay, so let's talk about what's going on today for people.
Oh, I love it.
Are you going to be?
Listen, so check this out. So we're just living in a funky time. I don't know if the world has ever been in this situation before, where everybody's at home, they're with their kids, the kids are homeschooled, their jobs are home, or they've been laid off and they're still home. There's an epidemic out there called this virus, or the invisible enemy, and they're still at home. So there are so many different reasons that people are home, and most people do not know what to do. Right. So today, let's go for what can people do? How can somebody turn their time into dollars?
Very great point. We talked about different types of entrepreneurship, and obviously through our journey, I started out my journey with a franchise. So I've, experienced what it's like to run a franchise model. We built our design and construction companies. We've had traditional businesses. I've had franchise. You and I have done many other things. You've done many things. You had a restaurant. So there's different types of entrepreneurship. What I've learned through the years as an entrepreneur is that it's not just being an entrepreneur. It's not just having a business, but it's having the right business. Yep. And we just kind of touched on that with, time freedom. Our design and construction company, we built it up to a really great level, really high-end level, but every single level we jumped, it seemed like it got more stressful, bigger headaches, and we just weren't happy. So the money was great, but the happiness level was going down. And so there's a problem with that. And we literally made a conscious decision that if it wasn't fun, we weren't going to do it anymore. Because, right. Obviously life is short, and you need to enjoy and love and want to jump out of bed, with excitement in the morning. And so, if it's not fun, obviously we're not doing it. But in the idea of business models, what I love about what we're doing today and what you could do sitting at home is a home-based business, but not just any home-based business. We like the business in a box concept, network marketing, multi-level marketing, whatever you want to call it, direct sales. There's different, again, models, but the business in a box concept is going to be the fastest way right now for anyone sitting at home that has literally no business or any business experience, maybe they got laid off their job, or they're only part-time, or they just don't know what to do. Even if they had a business, but that business is shut down right now. The fastest way right now for you sitting at home to get to money, as soon as, like, you could start a business in a box concept right now today and be making money as soon as a week out. And that's the power of the right company with the right compensation plan, the right business in a box model, so to speak. So when we obviously have been in the industry in and out, and one thing I've learned about the industry is there's a difference in companies. The biggest difference is, going to be, what product or service are they in? What's the structure of the company? What's the leadership of the company? What is the compensation plan? And ultimately, if the industry, timing, products, all that's right, cool, leadership's good, then what is the compensation plan? Because I've also met people that get involved in companies like this, and it gets kind of a bad name out there. If you've got any kind of a bad opinion of network marketing, maybe you were involved in a company with a bad compensation plan, or who was way past their momentum, or bad leadership. Again, these things matter. So if we're talking about the fastest way right now from you sitting at home to money is going to be in the network marketing industry with a business in a box, then let's talk about the differences. The reason why we chose the company that we're involved in is because we did all the research, and because we have a lot of history and experience with different companies. I have seen friends of mine, leaders, big leaders, who have worked very hard, built very, very large teams in other companies that were making a fraction of the money that you could make here in this business model.
That's right.
And the simple reason is the compensation plan. It really comes down to the compensation plan. Breakaways and all this stuff. If you're lucky enough to find big leaders under you, in a lot of companies and a lot of compensation plans, those big leaders, when they reach your level, they break away from you. So that costs you a lot of income. And again, I'm not here to bash any other company. I already told you, I love the industry. I'm a huge fan, but I'm also a huge fan of being smart and being a smart entrepreneur and picking a company that has the right everything, the right package, so to speak. So I wanted to be, it was very important to be in the right industry, right timing, right trend, right products, right leadership, but compensation plan. I happen to think we have one of the most powerful compensation plans I've ever seen in my 24 plus years in the industry. So that's one of the reasons why we're here. It's one of the reasons why people are able to come in with zero network marketing or even business experience and start making money fairly quickly in this business model. So right now, if you're sitting at home and you don't know what to do, I would say, and again, obviously I love our company and I'm biased to that, but I would say get involved in a business in a box, in a network marketing company that you feel passionate about, because right now that's going to be your fastest way to income. And that is, from truly the bottom of my heart, the absolute truth. Ours happens to have just some unique, advantages and some faster income. And I happen to be biased about us having some of the best products in the industry as well.
What's amazing from what you're saying, obviously you and I have always done both. Not always, but a lot of both, right? So we've always owned traditional businesses, and then we've had network marketing, business in a box, sort of there on the side. It's always been a side hustle for us. So, but what's, as you're talking, I'm thinking, because you're saying like, hey, if you've never done network marketing before, and then you also said, or business. Look, I want to clarify this for everybody watching. Maybe you're at home saying, how do I make $1,000 a month? Business is business. Sales are sales. Every single business on the planet can only do one of two things. They can sell a product or a service. There is nothing else. Nothing else exists. You're either selling a product or a service. But then you're like, yeah, but network marketing, I got to go talk to people. What business in the world don't you have to go talk to people to? Wow, I can be real estate. Who's going to buy the house? Oh, people. Awesome. Car salesman. Who's buying that? Oh, another human being. It's peer-to-peer, guys. I don't give a shit if it's a huge corporation buying from you. It's still a human being making a decision to buy from you, whether it's a network marketing model, whether it's a franchise model, whether it's a brick and mortar model, whether it's an affiliate model. It's freaking business. Point is to clarify, not to clarify, but to add my stuff with what Tami just said, is figure out, make a decision that you want to make money, and then figure out what works for you online. Obviously, we're very biased to HempWorks because it's badass, but you can do something less. Go ahead.
Well, I'm a big believer in, if you're going to do something, you're going to put your energy into something, you might as well maximize your time, right? And the amount that you can earn. So I really struggle seeing people in a company with a bad compensation plan or just a bad, structure, because they're going to put the same amount of energy in and time and talking to people and resources, so to speak. But that's why I brought that up, that I happen to think that after, everything we've been through and all we researched, that, you just really want to, and again, if you don't know business, then, trust the people that are doing it. Look for someone that you trust, that has what you want, that's doing what you want, and let them mentor you, let them guide you. Again, this business model is genius, because people like us, people like, the Parkers, people like Beth, people like Shauna, we're paid to help you be successful. We make money when you make money. So I love that about this model, because no matter who you're aligned to, even if they're killing it, making, crazy amount of money, their business is still you. They're invested in you, and they get to spend their time, really. And this is where it's almost like pinch me. I can hardly believe it's true, but we get to spend our time helping people with their mindset, helping them with their life, helping them, tweak little things. It's like we really get to be, a part of their transformation, not only, with finances, but, their entire transformation, their mindset. It changes their life. An extra $200 to $500 will change most people's lives. And that is so doable that most people just don't realize. They don't know that it's that easy, or that there's a vehicle in place that can help them do that, or that there are mentors in place willing to help them do that. So, that's the really powerful part about, our system and what they can do. But if you're sitting at home, or if you know people sitting at home, there's never been a better time to reach out to these people, because they're hurting, they're scared. And this is where anxiety and panic is going to kick in, and then lead to depression. And, it doesn't have to be, again, it doesn't have to be our company. I just happen to think ours is amazing. And it's a way that you can actually come in, start doing, what we tell you to do. And within a week or two, you could have a check, direct deposit into your bank account. And you mentioned people. Again, everything's people business, but there's never been a better time through social media and our cell phones and all the stuff that we're doing socially anyway to reach out to people. It's not the same. You're not really going to meet up with someone at Starbucks anymore and trying to sell them or convince them on something. You're having conversations with people that you're talking to all day anyway. You're meeting new friends on social platforms that you're meeting anyway. You're on your cell phone all day anyway. So, and especially right now, people are scrolling Facebook or, Instagram, either on their computer or their phone, sitting at home, probably more than they have in months, because you've got nothing but time. So why not turn this time and this scrolling and this connecting with people and all this social stuff that you're doing into a business that will actually pay you and relieve some of that anxiety? Not to mention that our products right now are helping people with their health tremendously through this time. We happen to have a product line that goes right into alignment with keeping your immune system up, stress, anxiety, all that stuff. We can help. Our supplements, our products are helping people with similar situations. So the product line is in alignment. The compensation plan is amazing. And, we're just looking for those people that are hungry right now, and that know people that are hungry that we can help, because, there is a need. And there's never been more of a need. And having a home-based business, even if you go back to work, even if your business kicks back up and running in the next few weeks, you'll never be sorry to have an additional income source. We believe in multiple streams of income, because and the side hustle, having it there, producing income for you, is never a bad thing. In fact, if something like this ever happens in the future, or just even the fact that this just happened, having that side hustle, having that side income becomes very, very priceless.
Absolutely. That's a great point. How many people are not prepared today?
A lot.
Most.
Unfortunately.
Most. That's phenomenal points. Well, Jacqueline just said Thursday is the day of Jupiter. That's what Thursday means, Jupiter. So in HempWorks, we get paid every single Thursday. Today, it got a little bit more special. Corporate, threw some salt on it, and they're like, bam, just made it a lot better, and brought next week's big monthly check from next week to today. So everybody got paid their big monthly check today, plus their weekly stuff, any bonuses, first Thursday of any month. And it's a cool little thing to be a part of. So with that said, babe, anything you want to add as a wrap?
Gosh, times are kind of crazy out there.
They are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, you're great. Yep, you're good. You paused, so I was going to come in with a joke, but you're good. Keep going.
Joke. Okay. I don't know what I was saying now, but I think just with all the craziness out there, just in rapping, know that there's people that care and you're not alone. We can connect through social media. We're here for you. If you know people that are hurting, reach out to them right now. There's a lot of people just confused, scared, having a little bit of anxiety about what's going to happen. But, those of us that are stronger, those of us that have a different perspective, you need to just be sensitive and love on the people that are freaking out and know that, there's a brighter days coming and that this is just a season. It will pass, and do what you got to do to get through this moment. If you don't know what to do, then please reach out to someone. There's lots of us here that are here to help you, and you're not alone. And we're all in this together. And even if we can only connect right now socially on a social platform or a Zoom or a Facebook Live, then either way there's still ways to connect. So we love you guys, and just hang in there. Love on people right now more than ever. Love.
Amen. Awesome. Thank you, honey. This was really, really cool. I got to interview you. It was awesome.
And you didn't make me cry. That's good.
Yeah, it was borderline. You were ready, you were prepared, but I think we got through it. It was great. So, so look, I guess my excitement for this interview was your immense amount of knowledge and experience, right? Knowledge that comes from experience. So what I want everybody to do right now in the comment box is drop your biggest takeaway from Tami. What's your biggest nugget? What's one nugget that you can take and actually put to use today and change something about your life? It could be financial. It could be your family. It could be your kids. It could be your team. It could be a business. It could be how to fight for stuff more. It could be anything. So drop in the comments, please, your biggest takeaway from Tami. Babe, I'll see you in about 3 minutes in the other room. In your office, actually. I love you, and thank you so much for being on the Hempibition show.
Thank you. I love you. It was fun.
Yay. All right, everybody. So with that said, this wraps up another beautiful episode of the Hempibition. We will be back here next Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific, and we'll do it again. Meanwhile, 4 p.m. today, we'll release the anxiety, panic, depression, and anxiety prevention video. So keep an eye out on my wall. I'll obviously make a post. I'll tag as many people as I possibly can. So then get this to people. I'm doing it to help. I'm doing it to... there's so much pain I see online, and it's literally just heartbreaking. I'm looking at stats of suicide and stats of anxiety, and I've done it. I've been there. So I learned how to get out of those situations, and I'm teaching very, very simple tools and steps that people can take to change their circumstance very, very quickly. So I hope to God it helps a lot of people. That's my goal, and that's my prayer. So with that said, I'm sure we'll be chatting again at 4 p.m. Outside of that, love you guys, and see you next week on the Hempibition at 2 p.m. Pacific. Peace out, and I love you.